feel kind of bad. Hey, Al. It's me, Brian. How you doing? Um, I don't know if I scared IPP off. He joined our stream here to see what was going on, and either that or he went into like deep lurker mode. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but welcome everybody. It is hump day. It is the middle of the week. It is a Wednesday. Somebody's got a case of the Wednesdays. Oh my God. Yeah, it's. Thank God you can see the weekend from here because I'm feeling this was a rough day for me. So, but the highlight of my day is I get to spend some time with you fine people, and get to teach somebody something and teach myself something, which is the most important thing is to always be learning every day. So I'm glad y'all could be here to sit down with me, do a little bit of log, hacking the box or not hacking the box, hack the box, just hack the box. We're a little early today. I have a meeting that starts at 4:30, but it never starts on time anyway. It's one of those kinds of meetings. So, you've got me for another hour and a half, if you will. And I'd like to thank our new follower, Oburusta, Oburusta. So you can see it in chat. Thank you so much for following. Like to remind everybody that's listening or will be listening in the future, if you have a Prime account from Amazon, you get a free Prime subscription that you could use and give to us or give to another one of your favorite streamers. So there's that. I'm sorry. So I was looking up some things before we get started. So the internet has fallen upon itself again today in a let me see, in a vulnerability reminiscent of Log4j. We now have Spring4Shell, which is yet another what appears to be crushingly bad Java remote code exec vulnerability. So this is another subsystem of. Let me maximize my screen here. There we go. According to this write-up, which from my folks in my own internal work environment said was quite good, that deactivate the audio on my work computer. So not only is there just one RC, but there's two great things in one. So they said they're unsure if the RCE in Spring core is exploitable yet, dubbed Spring4Shell, while the second RCE in the Spring Cloud function, less widely used, is valid and has been given a proper CVE. So that one is this one here. So the vendor is Spring by VMware, so that's not scary. It is medium severity though, so that means there's some conditions, there's some strings involved in making this work. There is a level of potential issue, or there's a configuration requirement, or something has to be hit to make this happen. So what we see down here is we see the common weakness enumerations, so we can open those. We talked a little bit about those. Allocation of resources without limits or throttling. Okay. Software allocates a reusable resource or group of resources on behalf of an actor without imposing any restrictions on the size or number of resources that can be allocated in violation of the intended security policy for that actor. Okay. Okay, so that's one of the CWEs. Let me see, 497. Exposure of sensitive information in an unauthorized control sphere. Okay. The application does not properly prevent sensitive system-level information from being accessed by unauthorized actors who do not have the same level of access to the underlying system as the application does. Okay, so that's a couple of interesting CWEs. Yeah. Okay. So all right, let's go back over here to the write-up. You see, so if you're running, if you're running this version of the Spring Cloud function, which let's go see what Spring Cloud Function is as well, because I am unfamiliar with Spring Cloud Function, as is, I would imagine, a bunch of folks are, having to search for that. Spring Cloud Function. Okay. I don't know if that's it. Is it? Spring Cloud? Yeah, okay. Provides tools for developers to quickly build some of the common patterns in distributed systems. Okay. Service discovery, circuit breakers, intelligent routing, micro proxies, control bus, one-time tokens, global locks, leadership election, distributed sessions, and cluster states. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Okay. So we have, oh yeah. Some of you might have saw the tweet when I posted it this morning, or just a few minutes ago, talking about the vulnerabilities. So if you are using these VMware products, okay, so I don't think that Spring Cloud is correct. So let me see, Spring by VMware, search. Okay. No, okay, that was it then. All right. Okay. Comprehensive support for OpenJDK, Spring, and Apache Tomcat for any enterprise. That is something to think about as well. A lot of Java vulnerabilities, because OpenJDK and other JDKs might utilize that. If you think you're safe because you're not using Oracle Java, you might be incorrect. Just keep an eye out if you use a lot of OpenJDK or I don't know if Ice-T is one, but I know that it was one at one time. Just keep an eye out for the potential abuse for other Java-related items. So let me see, there it is. All right, so this situation is confusing because both vulnerabilities are popular Java libraries published by Spring Core, and Spring Cloud Function. Further, this situation is made worse by the lack of a CVE to differentiate the two bugs. Okay, so there's been an update apparently, I think. Maybe? Yeah, well, they've given 2 CVEs. Anyway. Okay, so far they only have 1. All right, so that's fine. They won't be able to find information validating Spring4Shell because it's still unconfirmed. All right, so just to keep that in mind, it is still technically unconfirmed, even though InfoSec Twitter has just gone just crazy, just as mentioned with Log4Shell. What is important is that this vulnerability is not as bad, so there you go. Any attack scenario once discovered is going to be more complex and have more mitigating factors than Log4Shell did because of the nature of how deserialization exploits work in Java. Okay. With Log4Shell, exploitation was trivial and an exploit could be written in seconds that worked on most apps. With Spring4Shell, requires deep Java knowledge to get a functioning POC. Also requires certain features such as caching to be enabled in Spring before an app is vulnerable. We don't have all details yet, but we know enough to feel confident this isn't the next Log4Shell, despite what other blogs may be telling you. So that's good. It will be interesting to see if there's anything else that comes out about this. I mean, a lot of folks are just trying to get, first to the market with regards to some of the issues. Let me see if there's other question. Let me see, Spring4Shell. Okay, so according to Threatpost, if it leads, it bleeds. So they, wanted to get their SEO, up and running. So they made sure that Log4Shell was in the title. They made sure RCE was in the title. Something to remember. So-called Spring4Shells. While researchers refer to this as Spring4Shell, it should be noted there's some confusion as to what to call it. Another security firm is calling it Spring4Shell. So there's actually 2 vulnerabilities, and that it appears to be that there's some confusion from some media folk about that. Concerning another series of Java vulnerabilities. So 22.963 It is a medium, so there is some issues like the write-up did say. There's certain configuration issues that have to occur for you know. So yeah, it's not as bad. You must have and you have to have understanding of deserialization issues. So keep an eye out. Keep an open mind. The Earth is not crumbling to dust like it did with Log4Shell. It does sound like that there's a number of things that have to happen before that will, like caching. They've only given this a medium issue, so it's a medium severity according to VMware. So there is some things that have to happen before this is actually a vulnerability. And oh, I didn't click on first.org, so oh no, they're saying a 5.4. So network complexity is low, no privileges required, user interaction is required. Scope, I never quite understood how that works. An exploited vulnerability can only affect resources managed by the same authority. In this case, the vulnerable component and the impacted component are the same. Okay, all right, that makes sense. Confidentiality, integrity, availability. Okay, so it's only medium, so that's nice. Cool. So yeah, we'll keep up on that and understand and see if there's any updates on that. Anybody have any other thoughts? They had any meetings talking about the issues that came out? Okta SSL domain. I thought I saw something on Twitter saying that I had seen a post talking about that where they said it looked like they were able to gain access to some information through a domain that had TLS issues where the system had expired. Hello, Chemist Security. Glad you could join us. I'm doing some searching here. Thank you for joining us here. Let me see, where is it? Somebody had posted up. Let me see. Last 20 hours media requests. Sorry, I'm scrolling down through my timeline here on Twitter because somebody had posted up a screenshot of a write-up, and I'm not sure if it was actually true or not. I was trying to find additional information about it. They were saying that the reason that Okta was breached from the third party was also because one of the SSL certs was owned up, but I hesitate to mention that one until I saw some other information. Scroll. Yeah, there it is. It says so this is the link. Please do not take it for gospel. The way it was delivered was a little odd in the instructions. It said, I'm trying to, yeah, I'm thinking, yep. Looks like somebody made an improper analysis there on the doc. And of course it appears to be written up by Jonathan Data One or something. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there hasn't been any change, at least other than that, what appears to be a trolley kind of post. I actually feel bad. I probably should delete that post now. I'll have to figure that out at some point. Anyway, so yeah, anybody have anything else? Let me close that out. There we go. All right. Just keep an eye out for charlatans that try to post stuff like this. I'm not saying the person who retweeted it is the charlatan, but we have a lot of folks that are trying to cash in on drama and things like that. Might be me too. Who knows? But yeah, I've just seen a lot in the news today about this. So I think as we see more people poking at this, then we'll actually get additional information. So stand by on this. Oh, so yeah, there's a little bit more extra down here on the. I thought the about us was just pretty much the end of the blog post, but they're talking about deserialization alone is not a CVE. Why not declare this problem immediately and add to the panic? Code execution isn't concerning. JavaScript has the eval function included in any Node.js server or browser. It's not considered a problem until an attacker has a way of feeding string input into the eval with content they control. In order to achieve that for most applications, an attacker would have to be able to modify the application source code directly in order to give themselves access to execute eval. At that point, they wouldn't need eval anymore because then they just put in their own code anyway. I've seen that a lot. It's like you get a pen test report and somebody's like, well, you need to do X, Y, and Z or the bad guys are going to get you. I'm like, well, if they get root, they don't need to do that. They already root. They're not going to waste their time doing something if they already have elevated privilege. Sometimes even us security people forget that. When we're doing things. So, so yeah, there's. Misinformation spreads quickly and easily. It's much easier to Photoshop a screenshot showing an exploit and redacting details than it is to investigate a security vulnerability in a large code base like Spring4. The one thing is, though, now that there's been blood in the water, Spring4 is going to be getting free code audit. So even if this is not a Log4j level vulnerability, Spring4 is going to get some free analysis, whether they like it or not. So, so users on Twitter have been calling that, Spring4Shell. Unfortunately, we're a team of security engineers skilled in, you just sell yourself. There you go. Okay, great. So they said the tweets talking about, I'd seen this early this morning, and they said that a Chinese Twitter account was showing screenshots of this in the popular library, but they were deleted. Either somebody disclosed it without disclosing it to the Chinese government as per the new policy over there, or somebody realized that they something else was on and then they deleted them. So, but yeah, go ahead and take a look through all of this. They talk about the analysis. There's some additional information. If you have any questions, I'm sure you can follow some normal people on Twitter and find out what's up. So, all right. Found this just a little while ago. Apparently, MITRE has posted 11 strategies of world-class cybersecurity operations center by Catherine Nerler, Ingrid Parker, and Carson Zimmerman. I'm assuming it's Nerler, silent K. Hope so. Apologize to Catherine otherwise. So they're talking about why this was written. This is the second edition, so apparently there's other editions of this. So first edition acknowledgments. So it might be interesting discussion if you are trying to create an operations center or you work in one and you're like, I wonder if there's something that we could bring in to affect change and increase our efficiency or efficacy of the system. So there's various strategies here. Give the SOC authority to do its job. Oh, Chemist Security says that's what I'd assume as well. Otherwise, it's a knuckleball of a name. I'm assuming Spring4Shell, and you're talking about Spring4Shell in this case. I will say that there have been some clever vulnerability names. Oh, Catherine, right. Otherwise, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Yes, I mean, it's like no knowledge, that kind of thing. KN is usually the silent K. So, but yeah, take a look at this. It's free. I didn't have to pay for it. So it's, it's a PDF. If you find, there's some incident response and incident handling, items in here. So there might be some checklists and things that you could go review with with incident response if you know you're lacking incident response in cloud. So let me see 143. Let's go look at 143 just for shits and giggles before we move over to try hack me. So okay, so the numbers on this are super off. So if you like bring it up in your browser, 148 is actually like 127. So you're gonna have to add like 20 pages to your let's see, 167. Oh, that was close. Yeah. All right, so yeah, incident response and OT. Response will be specific to the device's purpose. Limit remote response where possible. Options for eradication may differ from traditional IT. So yeah, there's different different ideas here. Yeah, but yeah. So if anybody finds value in that, just let me know. I'd love to see if what's up. All right. So. Oh yeah, Globant, yet another company I've never heard of. IT and software consultancy firm has confirmed they were also breached by Lapsus as well. They got 70 gigs of their archive data as some customers' source code. Oh good, oh good. Which means we'll be finding out down the line where other companies. Metropolitan Police, Smile Direct, Autodesk, Electronic Arts, Santander, Interbank, Royal Caribbean, and many more. Sure, no problem. Yeah, Chemist Security. If you, yeah, I'm always looking out for PDFs of things. I mean, sometimes some of the PDFs that you have to register your email address and stuff are fairly decent, as long as you put a fake email or something in there, as long as they're not emailing it to that. This is always a good time to have a spam or spam.bob@gmail.com address or something like that, where you're going to get spam. But if they're smart enough to go, oh yeah, we're going to send it to your email address, send you a link to the